Hey vinyl community, how's it going? It's David. It says right below you, right? You know where you clicked. It's David. We're gonna try to mumble my way through this one. I just woke up, got a text that my wife went out for the day, so I thought, well, I had the time. We'll do the video. So, but the byproduct of that is that 50% of my words you won't really understand because I worked all night. Anyways, cheers. Let's hope this wakes me up a bit. You might be asking why, then why film these things when you just wake up? It's the only time I have. I don't know about you, and I might have asked this before, but for those of you who have wife and kids or husband and kids, etc., etc., do you find it incredibly odd to film your videos when they're around listening to you? I find it really horribly embarrassing. So yeah, that's why I have to film these damn things at odd times, because I just, you know what, I don't need my family to think I'm a bigger nerd than I already am. So yeah, I film these when I get up. So anyways, yeah. Anyways, this is going to be pretty much purely thrift store finds from the last week and a half, and I'm not going to move the camera, but there's been about 75 records I picked up in the last week and a half, thrift stores, and I kind of rationalized it by, this is kind of like we're getting down to the last kick of the can, because once fall and winter hits, it dries up. Because no one's cleaning out, no one, you know, there's the odd find, but no one's really kind of cleaning house and donating. So, I'm going to take you through what I found the last week and a half, and I'm not going to go through 75. I have enough content here for 3 videos, I'm sure. So this going to be no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to grab and we'll show you what I got. Really, there's a lot of just kind of what I call solid $5 albums. But if you actually went to used record stores, they're probably $10. But when I happen to be at record fairs, they're $5 albums. That's what I sell them for. So that's what I call them. Nothing spectacular. And I won't bore you with a lot of kind of common stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of shit laying here. I mean, you wouldn't pass them up, would you? Anyways, what we're listening to now, Love Hate, Blackout in the Red Room. If you can hear this. I have not even remotely touched my metal stuff in the last few months. I'm not sure why. But Love Hate. You know, we all go through peaks and waves and what you're listening to, and my metal stuff is kind of sat dormant. I'm really not really sure why. But I had a video kind of, and if you're, by the way, if you're one of those people kind of waiting for the first album and you're going to tell me how long it takes me to get to my first record, it's what the fast forward button's for, okay? I had a video kind of lined up. There was some kind of best hair metal albums from the 80s that aren't really well known, I guess. But I kind of started pulling albums for that, and then I realized, I don't know, no one's going to watch that video. And why go through the effort of making the video if no one's going to watch it, really? But anyways, I pulled Love Hate, and people know that album, but I just kind of, I'll play Love Hate, and maybe see if I can get my ass back into pulling records from that metal section behind me there. I have to say something before I show albums, don't I? It's boring if I don't. Okay, some of these I won't remember if I showed them to you, and I think there's only one album in particular I can't remember if I showed it, and I'm not going to watch my old videos because I don't want to see this face any more than I have to every morning when I get up. And when we get to that album, I'll show you. Anyways, we're going to go until I bore myself hearing myself talk, and then we'll have a part 2. You know, thrift store finds. This album really excited me to find, because I don't see this one very often. And this album might be, it's kind of more valuable outside of Canada, because they were a Canadian band. But it's one you don't see very often. You kind of see their first album, or their second album a lot more. This is from 1970. and it's the Perth County Conspiracy does not exist. Some of you might be hip to the Perth County Conspiracy. They are just weird. There's nothing more to say about it. It's like folk, then it goes into psych, and then it goes into some really hard rocking guitar, and then children speaking, a spoken word piece. It's really completely effed up, and I fully encourage you to sample the Perth County Conspiracy. So I think this might have been their third album. I could be wrong. But anyways, that was Thrift Store Fun. And of course, I always show you my new albums first, don't I? That came in the mail. So let's pretend we didn't do Perth County Conspiracy. I'm going to show you 2 new albums that came in, because I want to file them, not have to have them out to remind myself to show them on a video. The Tea Party Transmission, one for the Canadians. I think the Tea Party might have been, I think they might have a following in Australia. Maybe a small one in the US. But in Canada, they were pretty huge in the 90s. This was their thinking third album called Transmission on red vinyl. Probably maybe their best album, although my wife disagrees with me. And she left me for the day, so what does her opinion matter? Hope you're having a good day, wife. Out without me. Tea Party Transmission. Was happy to get that one. And the only other new one I got was Atomic Rooster. Death Walks Behind You. This was the new Music on Vinyl reissue that came out. You can see Music on Vinyl, my favorite reissue label, as I've said before. I'm not sure if there's anything to say about that album. Probably one of the greatest proto-metal albums, as they call them, because everything has to be categorized. Probably one of the best proto-metal albums I've ever heard. Next to it kind of sits nicely beside Sir Lord Baltimore and bands like that. So I was really happy to get finally a nice kind of clean copy of that album. Let's get back to the Thrift Store finds. This one, I'm on a progressive rock forum on Facebook, and I posted this one, and people were correcting me how to pronounce it. I think it's their one and only album, and I'm going to screw up the pronunciation now. It's a Spanish band, progressive rock, kind of symphonic rock band. I think this might be their only release. Could be wrong. But it was only released in the Netherlands. And why I found this one in Western Canada, I have no idea. But Canarios Cycles. It's a double album, and it's based upon Vivaldi's Four Seasons, but it's not super symphonic. Yes, it has that element in it, but it's I have to say it's a really awesome symphonic rock album. I gotta, since we have to categorize it, don't we? Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm not editing today, and I'm not going to reshoot. We're doing this one whole video, and if I screw up, I'm screwing up today. Anyways, not for any disdain for you. Let's just film this. Yeah, really awesome. I was really surprised by this album. I took a chance on it at the thrift store, and I think it paid off quite nicely, actually. So that was Canarios Cycles. I could be wrong on that pronunciation, and I don't care. Anyways, what made me buy this one is it's on the Charisma Mad Hatter label, for you label nerds out there. It's a band called String Driven Thing. And this is an original, it's a US copy, actually. Nice gatefold. I think one of the members has some kind of tie-in with Van der Graaf Generator. I think it's the violinist. But it's folk, progressive rock. But the first song on this album really fools you because it's a really hard rocker. But for those who don't know, this is the label. The Charisma Mad Hatter label. A kind of, it gives me a little bit of a chubby when I see those labels. Same as the original kind of Virgin record labels. If you're a label nerd and you see pressings like that, to me it tells me, take a chance for a few bucks. You might like it. This is a pretty decent album. String Driven Thing. Was it 1970? Let's just call it 1970, which means it's older than I am. So, How's this for technical? There you go. Yeah, I was quite happy with this album. Like I said, there's certain labels that you know that records are on. Chances are it's going to be kind of up your alley. Generally speaking, if I find that Charisma label, it's going to be something at least interesting to me. And it's from that time period that that I quite like. Anyways, this is a copy of. Okay, this is going to be my screenshot because this will get the clicks, right? How's that? This is a version of Ziggy Stardust I don't have, and I think this is my 6th copy of Ziggy Stardust. I don't know. It's one of those stupid things. I said last video I'm gonna start getting rid of my multiples, but Ziggy, I don't know. I might keep them all. Maybe not. This is a Canadian Best Buy, which is kind of you probably all know this. It's kind of, maybe you had this in the States. When they kind of put these down to mid-price, they put this Super Best Buy or Super Series stickers on them, and they kind of altered the artwork. But this was a copy of Ziggy Stardust I didn't have, so that was a nice couple dollar find. Buffalo Springfield. I'm gonna kind of just rush through these here. Buffalo Springfield, again, their 2nd album with Mr. Soul. I don't think Buffalo Springfield had a whole lot of albums, so to say I completed their discography isn't a big feat. But I did with this one. Like I said, worth it for Mr. Soul alone. I'm not sure if I showed this one. I have this, and there's another one I wasn't sure if I showed, but let's just show it just in case. The Sound from the Lion's Mouth. If you're into alternative music in the 80s, you might know this album, The Sound. I traded away my original copy a few years ago, so that was a really nice find. This is the 2nd copy I have of this, but this is a definitely nice upgrade to the one I picked up at a record fair last year. It's the Best of Budgie. Like I said, I'm going to try to save some of the stories today, just to save some time here. But I do have to talk about this lot. I found a lot as in numerically speaking, and also a lot as in a bunch, that of electronic avant-garde experimental albums. A lot of them I don't know, other than I looked on Discogs, and that's what so some guy donated his whole kind of avant-garde electronic collection. And let's be honest with each other. If you look on Discogs and you find an album in a thrift store and it's selling for $55 as the median price, you're probably going to pick it up. Because if you don't like it, you can probably get some value for your investment and kind of leverage that money against, you know, maybe one of your most wanted. So a lot of these I don't know. But, and I've played some of them. Some are actually really good, and I'm going to keep some of them. But anyways, this is this whole bunch of those albums I found. Klaus Schultz, Moondawn. I guess Klaus Schultz, love him or hate him. I'll give that one a try. I haven't really listened to it yet. I've come across this one before. Claude Dejean and Synthesizer, Open Circuit. It's a 4-channel London Records pressing. Really nice condition. I think it was either a punch out or a promo copy. Take your pick. It's going to sound a lot more exotic and valuable. Promo. This is a promo. It's not a punch out. Okay, we're going to come across some albums here that like I said, I don't know other than what Discogs and some other, I did not just Discogs, other sites are telling me these are pretty sought after experimental electronic type classical albums. But this one is Francois Bale, Grande Polyphonie. Half of you are probably falling asleep right now at these, and maybe there's some electronic, early electronic experimental guys like just frothing at the mouth. We're gonna get, if you don't like this stuff, we're gonna get some other stuff. Don't worry about it. Jean-Michel Jarre, Magnetic Fields. Oh, I do know this guy. So that wasn't much of a mystery. Morton Subatomic, The Wild Bull, composition for electronic music synthesizer. In fact, I saw this on a Prog website yesterday. Someone found this recently, and it was kind of like when they were grails, rabbit ears. Yeah, this was part of that lot I found for $1 a piece. Yeah, Morton Subatomic. Don't know anything about it. This is one of the albums that kind of strays away, although it is kind of an odd album. So Robert Wyatt, Nothing Can Stop Us. This is on Sire Records. So Sire is actually one of those other labels too. If I see Sire Records, generally speaking, although they did churn out some shit, but Sire Records is another label that I kind of take bets on that one when I pick them up at thrift stores. This one is, and I have to read these off the spines because I want to get the names right. Reset Mutations. One of those electronic albums, avant-garde, classical electronic albums. And I'm believing these are all from France, aren't they? Yes, they are. So, John Cage. I think we all know that name, John Cage. Variations, Part 2. I'm trying to think of what this. I did look this one up. I want to say 68, but I'm probably horribly wrong. So this is John Cage. Actually, the full title is New Electronic Music from Leaders of the Avant-Garde. John Cage Variations 2, and there's some other people kind of on there too. This is an original CBS silver label. The CBS labels, you know, they had the red and they had the 2i, 6i, blah blah blah. But a lot of their classical or avant-garde stuff was released on the silver label. For those of you who didn't really need to know that. Levanis Kelsler, and I'm not even going to butcher the name here, but like I said, another one of those electronic avant-garde albums I found. Jean Schwartz. This is called Symphonie. I'm boring myself by pronouncing these names. How about you just have a look? And to be honest with you, most of these will end up being either trade bait, or I'll pass them along, or I'll flip them. Some of them I really like a lot, and some of them I just you got to be of a certain mindset to like that stuff, and it's not. Some of it's really kind of beyond me. This is kind of a various compilation, electronic music. John Cage is on this one as well. I think it's just called electronic music. There you go. This is one of those ones I did like quite a bit. It's called Synergy Audion. Canadian pressing on Passport. This one was a little bit more accessible than the other ones. I did quite like this one. And that's it for those ones. So if you skip by all those avant-garde ones, you want to pick up right here. All right. What time are we at? I'm not going to go terribly much longer. I probably bored the shit out of you with those electronic albums. Time for a drink. All right. These were recent Goodwill finds, as in the other day, and I haven't had time to peel the stickers, so I'm not being a show-offy goofball. I just there's a lot of records sitting here. These are the last lot of them that I haven't peeled the stickers off or cleaned yet. But about, I'm guessing 6 months ago, this band re-released this double album of this album that I don't find very often, and I ended up spending the $35 on the reissue. And then here I am finding an original copy for $2. I wish I could package that shit up and return it to Amazon, but it's been $6, or $6. It's been 6 months. Harmonium Le Heptade. I think I've shown Harmonium albums before, and I know other Canadians will comment that you see them all the time. I just don't. This is the first time I've seen it in a thrift store. I see the first two Harmonium albums quite a lot. I just don't see this one. So I think the only Harmonium album I don't have is the live album, which I'll find eventually. But if you don't know Harmonium, probably the greatest progressive rock. Wow. Yeah. I hate to use that term because I'm going to get roasted. Have a listen to them. Folk, progressive rock band. We'll leave it at that. I was a nice find for 2X. You know, double album, so they got to charge an extra buck, those bastards. Graham Parker, Howlin' Wind, 1976. I don't recall. You know, I know Squeezing Out Sparks and a few other Graham Parker albums, so I can't say. I don't know if I would have noticed it before, but this is one of the first times I've seen something other than Squeezing Out Sparks in a thrift store. So that was a nice one. Some country music, and why not? This is kind of more maybe a bluegrass. Nancy Griffith, Poet in My Window. This is I think this was her 1980s. Oh, I'm trying to think. This is her debut album. And I quite like Nancy. And that was kind of remnants from when I ran a record store for years and years and years, and we sold a lot of bluegrass, country, and folk and roots. And I've always liked her voice. This is an original Philco Rounder Records issue of her first album. And then another Nancy Griffith album. Like I said, I always have time for her voice. Nancy Griffith Storms. I'm starting to pick up a lot of these kind of, well, they're not really obscure, but harder to find country music albums from the 80s, because I'm finding they're actually really hard to find. And I'm finding some VC folks who collect them. So I'm kind of picking them up in the hopes that they need them. If not, you know, I live in Alberta. It's country music heaven here. I can always find a home for it. This is a nice upgrade for Grace Jones for me. Warm Leatherette. The copy I have is pretty roached. I have to include that every video now, I'm sorry. It's pretty messed up. But other than, I'm trying to think of another Grace Jones album I like more. Slave to the Rhythm, I guess. But this one has a cover of Warm Leatherette. It's got a cover of Private Life. It's got a cover of Love is the Drug. And Love is the Drug, the cover of the Roxy Music song. I'm going to sound blasphemous now. I like it better than the Roxy Music version. I do. Sue me. Another Joni Mitchell album I found, another copy of Court and Spark. It's not the textured sleeve one that I have, so I'm guessing this is a later issue of Court and Spark by Joni Mitchell. Another country music find. Like I said, Lyle Lovett. I haven't cleaned this one up here. I have to kind of clean some of the dirt off the top here, but the vinyl's really nice. Lionel. It's Lionel Lovett. It's Lyle Lovett. Another person one of those artists that I got beaten into liking when I was running that store for 10 years. A lot of people a lot of my staff loved Lyle. And we sold a lot of his records. This is obviously Pontiac. I think one of his finer albums. So that was a nice little pickup. I'm going to flip this really quick, and I want to end this on a good note here. Because, yeah, the rest have been, the ones I've showed you so far have been complete shit, haven't they? Anyways, I'm just going to pull a random lot here, and then we're going to go on to, well, we're going to end the video is what we're going to do. Anyways, we're at 23 minutes. We're going to kick this up a bit. Fabulous Thunderbirds. Girls Go Wild. Is that the actual title of the album? I should know this. Anyways. Thrift store find. Tim Buckley, Saffronia. And I'm trying to find something interesting to end this damn thing on. I don't know if I have anything complete. We're going to end it on... Oh, I'm going to blow it by blowing it on something interesting, aren't I? Well, not interesting, but finding this for $1 in a nice clean copy. I have the reissue that came out a few years ago on pink vinyl. So I'm not really too hung up on original pressings. For Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. I got about another, oh god damn, I don't know how many that was, but how about we end on a happy note? Because if you listen to Al Green, you can't be in a bad mood. I think that's law now. I think that was enacted about 10 years ago into law in both Canada and the U.S. Have a good time on High Records. I'm going to end on this one because, like I said, Al Green, look at this guy. And when you watch him perform, how can you feel bad? How can you be in a bad mood with Al Green? You have no soul if that's the case. And if you have no soul, I'm sure you got better things to do than criticize my videos. Anyways, that's leaving me with about a lot more to show. It's been a bountiful week and a half, and because my damn wife left me for the day, she's gonna suffer the consequences because I'm gonna go take a run to the thrift stores right now. Anyways, this has been David Michael, and this is one I probably will watch back, and I'm gonna be horribly embarrassed at how groggy and unintelligible I am, more than usual. Thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I know that, like, really quick, this is going to be less than 60 seconds. I promise. Ready? I've been subscribing to a lot of channels similar to mine. I'm not really into kind of flashy vinyl find videos. You know what I'm talking about with the jump edits and the flashy But I subscribe to a couple, so on your suggested feed, 10,000 other vinyl find videos come up. There's a lot. So the fact that, you're choosing this guy to watch, that it's not like I'm anything important. It's just, I never would have thought people would watch my damn videos. That kind of struck a chord with me, that it's like, wow, some people are watching my videos, and that's really cool because you have about 100,000 other channels to watch, which you probably do. So thank you. It sounds like I'm pandering, but I'm really not. We're going to end it right here. By the way, beard. This is my first real kick at the can of having I'm going to fucking grow a big, huge beard just to piss off my wife because she wants me to keep the beard. I don't know how you all keep it. I'm in my late 40s, and this is my first real attempt at a beard, and it's driving me crazy. If you have a beard, I don't know how you do it. Darren Locke, how do you do it? Take care, everyone.